Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of The Focus TV. We got a lot to go over tonight, starting with some national title game, just quick thoughts, some reactions as LSU capped off their perfect season. Octavia, I know you're still in your extremely petty place where we're going to talk about the NFL a little bit later. But we got a very special guest tonight, Team Durant's Osman Bangura. We're going to talk to him in just a little bit. But as I told you guys, LSU beating Clemson 42-28. They went through a little bit of adversity we've seen all season, but a lot of times we see people who go through college sports and not really put any tough games on their schedule. And then sometimes when they run up against the wrong team, sometimes they go through it a little bit. We saw a battle-tested team last night, and we saw a team that didn't see too much adversity. The team that faced 7 top-ranked teams, they were about their life last night. LSU showed us once again that they weren't going to lose a game. I love something that Coach O said last night. His guys didn't blink. They went down. They weren't worried. It didn't even look like they were bothered by anything. But Octavia, your thoughts last night watching the game?
I mean, just kind of like you said already, to see, them, they were undefeated all year, LSU, and to go down early and for them to have the poise, because, with them being undefeated, they're not used to being behind. So for them in a national title game to be able to be poised enough to continue to play the way that they've been playing all year, to put themselves right back into the mix. And, once they got going, it was, I turned the TV off eventually because it got a little bit late in the game. But it shows you that preparation is always going to be the key to games. You got to play like you on every single play of a game, and I just like the way that they stuck with it. They didn't go down. They didn't get they didn't get upset. They stayed with their game plan, and they played through Burrow. He was out there just. You could tell partially towards the end of the game he was having an injury. He was injured at the end of the second half, at the end of the first half with that big hit, and he toughed it out. They said even in the broadcast that he was saying as soon as it happened, like he told everybody, "Don't touch me, don't touch me." So that told you right then and there, like it was a significant injury that he didn't even want anybody to touch him. And for him to still have, the poise and the strength and the mindset to still go out there and play even while he's hurt, knowing that he needed to be out there for his team, I give him kudos for that, because a lot of people couldn't do that. A lot of people would have been, all right, man, I don't know if I can go back out there, but my quarterback probably, who knows, would have not been able to go back there. But it happens. But LSU proved that they're the best team.
All right, Cardell.
Burrow cemented what he is. Heisman Trophy winner. He controlled the game. He was so dominant. Every pass, I think he averaged nearly 10 yards of completion, 9.4. So every pass he completed was a first down. You throw in the 5 touchdowns, the 1 rushing, 463 yards. He put so much pressure on Clemson that it was like, if you were on the offense, you felt like you always had to score. It was no breathing room. Mm-hmm. And the defense, he took the life out of them. So it made it easy for LSU to just play free and do what they do, which is on defense, swarm, cover, stop the D-ball. And that's the first time I ever saw Lawrence get rattled. Mm-hmm. And since he kind of got the starting job and been undefeated, and part of that, a major part of that was the play of Burrows. And so you have to give him credit. The LSU defense only allowed 1 third-down conversions out of 11 from Clemson, and Clemson came in averaging nearly 50% completion rate on third downs throughout the season. It was just domination. And then LSU beat 7 out of 10 ranked opponents this year. 4 were ranked in the top 4 when the season began. So if you want to say, this LSU team is in the mix as one of the greatest of all time, you could definitely argue that, because the results and the production, stamps that. So you got to give Burrows all the credit. Not all the credit. It was a team, a team thing. But, for what his role was in this, you got to give him all the credit, and he's well-deserving of being the top pick in the draft.
Yeah, one thing Randy Mossson said was that's one of the, like you said, about being able to put them in the conversation. That's one of the best college offenses we've ever seen.
Yeah.
They had answers everywhere. It's not, and this is the sad part. I know everybody's getting on young boy on Clemson, AJ Terrell, because it's easy to get on him for the tough night that he had. So the guy that abused him is going to be playing on Sundays.
Yeah.
just
real quick.
Let's put that in perspective real quick. That's going to be somebody's number 2 guy on Sundays, somewhere with the chance to be someone's number 1 guy. The other guys that he throws to, they're also going to help someone else on Sundays. When you're throwing, you just throw to the top shelf. Why? Because your 6'4" guy is out running the 5'8" guy and also going to half-point the football. So like you said, it's not all Burrow, but that's the first time I think Clemson is what happens when you don't play anybody. You found out that your guys, sometimes there's smoke on the other side.
Yeah.
And when you don't see it on a regular basis, you don't know what it looks like.
Nope.
LSU's DBs, they got to see them wide receivers on a regular
That's why
basis.
the SEC is the best in the country, man.
Yep.
That's why they the best in the country. You can't. There really are no games off.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Like, even to get by Alabama, I know they didn't have 2 or whatever. Those NFL defenders in Alabama, there's NFL defenders all over the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
Those are hard-fought wins. It's battle-tested for a reason, man. And that's why they did what they did, man. Shout-outs to them. One thing I would like for you guys to do is, I know we love staying in the moment and going crazy and throwing out these absolute wild statements. As you said, there's a couple things we can do where we can take this outstanding LSU year and put them in conversations for great things, right? But some of the finite statements last night, like X was the greatest thing we've ever seen, dial it back some, chill, relax.
They was excited. They were just excited.
They in the mix, but
Yeah,
I don't
that's
put
what I'm
nobody
saying.
but those U teams, the Miami teams back in the day, and ain't nothing. I mean, pros, all the entire team were pros. Like, you can't match that, man. That's like a once in a lifetime. But they deserve to be in the conversation.
Yeah.
If you want to say that based on what they did this year, yes.
Thank you. And that's all we're asking. Put them in the conversation, sure. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong for bringing them up because that's a preference. I have no issue with that. But just throw them on top of one of the great, like, to say absolutely the greatest college performance we ever seen. I know everyone's mad at Reggie Bush and they hate him, don't like him. I'm sorry. God put me on this earth where I got a chance to see the boy do what he did.
Nah, he was cold.
So what I'm not going to do is pretend that I didn't see it
He was cold.
because no one else stopped it. Barry Sanders in college. You know how nobody could do anything with him in the NFL? What you think the college people did with him? Nothing. 44 touchdowns in 1 year. Just short of 3,000 yards on the ground. Put things in perspective. That's all we ask. We do this all the time. Ask y'all just to chill out and enjoy stuff. Don't go crazy. You're watching the Focus TV. We're going to take a very quick break. When we get back, going to start our conversation with Team Durant's Osman Bangura. You're watching the Focus TV. We'll be right back. All right, folks, welcome back to the Focus TV. As promised, our guest tonight, Team Durant, Osman, Bangura. Coach Oz, thank you so much for being here. We truly appreciate it. How you doing this evening?
Doing well. Appreciate you guys having me.
All right, so the inaugural Kevin Durant MLK Classic. That's what we're here to discuss. First, let's just, how did we get to this place of the early stages? When did this come about to discuss even having an event?
Well, obviously, being in the basketball circle, you look to host events and see how you can go about doing it. And I think the first opportunity we had once we created the partnership with the St. James is to see how we can help maximize bringing events there. So part of it, being a part of Team Durant, was to see how we can enhance sports in general in the area. So we sat down, we started brainstorming about a lot of things we can do. When we first got there in May, reached out to all the connections we had, relationships we built over the years, let them know we were in the facility, just gave them a glimpse of the facility, wanted most of them to come take a tour. So we just started piecing things together. We were able to host the Hoop Group DC Jam Fest in July, about 120 teams. So just to give us an idea of what we can do in the facility. That was a successful tournament. So once that was completed, it was on to the next one. So we're like, okay, what can we do next? I wanted to do something in December, but again, time frame was too short. So we just, again, went back to the drawing board, and we thought about, okay, what can be done in 2020?
Right.
And so the MLK idea came on board, and we were like, listen, Kevin Durant MLK Classic. And so from that point on, how can we pull it off? The season's getting ready to start. This was, I think it might have been in August, September or so. And a lot of times, most of these teams have already kind of completed their schedule, know where they're playing. But we said we'll give it a shot anyway. So started putting calls in. And from that point, started getting some great feedbacks, started putting the concept together, how we wanted to do it. And so as it started coming together, we reaching out to local teams, teams outside of the area. The idea just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And at this point, what will make this tournament different than any other tournament that's being ran throughout the country? And to honor someone like Dr. King as well. So threw the idea around of what we can do with this tournament. So part of the idea was basketball is you get wins and losses, right? And then we leave and go back home and on to the next one. But what will make this tournament different is how can we have athletes come and experience, the Washington, D.C. area. So you bring the tournament in, and you have an event where, yes, they get to showcase this talent, but when they go back home, what are they taking away from the tournament? Is it just, oh, well, we played a game, we won, we lost, we got to get to the next game? No. Washington, D.C., basketball hotbed. Washington, D.C. has everything you can think of in terms of tourism and things like that. So we started putting things together, said, okay, 3-day tournament. Didn't like the idea because it's basketball. Still didn't have that cultural experience that we wanted to put together. So we said, okay, well, let's have the teams play Saturday. We have a day off Sunday, and then play again Monday. So we wanted to give that an idea of not necessarily a day off on Sunday, but let it be a cultural experience. So that's where we are with it now.
You talked about the culture experience. What was the decision? We've been to the website to see some of the things that the kids are going to be able to do. What went into that decision to making sure that they do pick up some of the culture here and some of the places that you guys are choosing to take them? You guys are having a conversation outside before we got on air, but just everyone's not from this area. Everyone that's been here for the first time, we all know what this area is like. But to go to some of these places, to go to the National African American Museum of History and Culture, to go to the Lincoln Memorial, to go to Dr. King's Memorial, what do you think that could do for kids that haven't been here or not always exposed to all the other types of kids?
Well, if you think about it, even growing up playing ball, right? Only places you went was Florida. Never really left the area. You play locally, right? But we had the Nationals where, you're going to Florida. That was the furthest you went out. So as you get older, you travel a little bit more. So now with this day and age with basketball, I think, again, it goes back to just strictly basketball, where it's entertainment, it's sports. But what are they taking out of it? So for us is not only honoring Dr. King, what he's done, and I think a lot of these athletes and these student athletes need to understand and know a lot of us wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for him. So we wanted to make sure we included the experience where, one, they get to see Washington, D.C. for what it is. You hear about it all the time. You get to play at a great venue, but then we get to honor the guy that, again, if you don't know more about him, like you will know through this tournament. So we created this Sunday. We're going to get all 16 teams to head to the African American Museum 8:30 in the morning. They're going to give us a private tour. From 8:30, we're going to go into the Oprah Winfrey Theater, kind of give us a breakdown of what to expect. And I've been there, and trust me, shocking. I mean, just blows your mind, the emotions. I mean, it's a lot that go through your mind. And this, I'm an adult going through it, and I can only imagine what it would do for these kids. So we're going to do about an hour and a half tour through there, let them experience this. Because, again, talking to some of these coaches, a lot of these kids have not even been outside of their state. So you can imagine, I felt that growing up. So now you're talking, having a lot of these teams come from different parts of the state, the country, to come to D.C., play basketball, but also get to understand what Dr. King meant for the country or for the entire world. So with that said, very excited about it. We have a whole cultural experience, like I mentioned earlier, scheduled for them. After the tour, we're going to go to the memorial, take pictures there. After that, come back to the St. James, have one of our co-founders of the facility talk to the student athletes, their teams, and also have a sports psychology to end the day. And we thought it was very important to schedule it like that.
My first question for you is just explain how special it is to have, the namesake on the event, Kevin Durant, work with you guys to create an event that will give so many exposure to the kids that are coming from the same area he came up in. Because, when you think about it, some kids will be getting their first scholarship offer from this event. And, I think that's the goal, obviously. But just talk about how special that is.
It's special. When we first came up with the idea, Wayne Pratt, who's Kevin's dad, immediately threw the idea to Kevin. And with Kevin, obviously, we're blessed and fortunate, not only for the organization standpoint, but what he's done, not only for the community, basketball world, and everything he does. This is something he's always envisioned. And he's paying it forward. Him growing up, playing it with, it took a village to kind of help him get to where he's at now. So he's kind of paying all that forward. And I think the excitement to have the name and for all that he's done for the community alone in the D.C. area and what he continues to do across the country, couldn't be more super excited about the opportunity.
I know I've been getting a couple calls from, coaches that coach high school. How do you guys go about selecting teams to participate in this event?
Well, obviously, when you have an event, you want to have the best event in the country. Everybody wants to do that. You want it to be very successful, but I think we approached it in a different mindset. A lot of times when events happen in tournaments, organizers try to get the best teams in the country. Right. To attract, whether it's, to get the crowd or whatever the case may be. For us, our approach was a little different. We mentioned the experience, but a lot of these teams that are local don't get the opportunity to play in major tournaments. And so for us, we said, you know what? Let's give these teams a shot. Let's help them promote their schools. Let's help them from a recruiting standpoint. Let's put them on the map. Because, again, we believe we're a basketball hotbed. So with that said, with these teams that are in the DMV area, it's a lot of talented kids there. So we wanted to make sure we reached out to the local teams first and then try to get the teams from out of the state and then try to match them up. So we were fortunate and blessed to be able to have not only great teams locally, but also teams out the area as well.
Will there always be a good mix of DMV-based programs and national programs moving forward?
Absolutely, and that's our goal. We always want to do to approach it that way, to have a mixture. And I think the exposure that we're about to bring to these local teams as well. And again, it's constant recruiting going on. Parents are always looking at what's the best situation to put their kids in. So for us, putting these kids out here in this situation where they get exposure, not only from college coaches, from social media and the way the event is being promoted, I think it's a win-win for everybody.
Is this something that you guys are looking to make a yearly thing, or y'all just kind of waiting to see how this turns out?
Nah, this is a yearly thing. It's the first annual, but as of a couple of weeks ago, I've already gotten 5 teams that want to be in it for 21. So the ball is rolling already for 21.
Gotcha. Are there talks of having a similar showcase for girls? Because I know with Team Durant, y'all got a strong girls program as well.
Man, you're taking everything out of I'm taking everything out the bag. But yes, so the vision for next year is, as you know, for Team Durant, we also have the girls program as well. So I'm a huge advocate for girls basketball. So obviously one will push that. So going into next year, yes, we will be including girls team in the event. So you're the first to hear that.
Switching gears a bit, wanted to touch on the Team Durant program. For those that don't know, what was the motivation, the process and getting the program started, period?
Well, again, it all starts with Kevin. At the end of the day, again, when I mentioned paying it forward, what he's done for this game, and he's always looking to give back to the youth. So his main thing was to serve. The biggest thing actually is to serve, to give back. He's done so much. So for us coming into the game, All he wanted for us to do was to put these young men and women in position to be successful, to have an opportunity to reach their goal and their dream. So if basketball was it, we have to be the mentors, the teachers, the leaders that kind of help them reach that goal.
Just talking to a few coaches over the years that are associated with Team Durant, the sense I get from the program overall is a sense of communities, sense of family, a lot of core values, positive core values. Was that the approach when y'all created the program, that y'all wanted that to kind of be the foundation for all the kids coming in, all the coaches that want to be a part of the program?
Absolutely. Again, I've been a part of a different organization in the past, and when you look at different situations you've been in, all your life experiences, what can you do different in your next challenge or your next opportunity? So you look at all of that and say, how can we make this different? And so approaching that, we looked at all the positive of current AAU and the negative and sort of put it together. And culture was big, family atmosphere was big, trust was big, integrity was big. So when you look at all these things, our approach was just that. You had to have these core values in order to be a part of our program.
Like UIBL, to me, it's hands down the best AAU circuit in the country. Peach Jam is an event in itself. It's even a different experience from the regular season, the different sessions with the UIBL. What will it take for Team Durant to capture that very elusive Peach Jam?
Man, it's a gold, obviously, because it is, like you mentioned, it's the best of the best. I mean, the best athletes across the country play in the event. The best teams are in the event. So I think for us, we're never really chasing anything, because our goal is to put these men and women to be in position to get a scholarship, go to school for free.
Right.
And the rest will take care of itself. If they play hard, they work hard, they do the things the right way, championships will come. And I believe, we've been doing it the right way. And as long as we continue to do it, the championship will come. Wins and losses come, but you never take away the relationship you build and what you do for these families. And, this was our first year, 17. So just to see all 11 of the kids get offers to Division I schools, like, it's nothing more. I mean, I could lose every single game, but these kids and their families don't have to worry about college for the next 4 years.
Gotcha. To St. James. I haven't seen it yet. I've heard some amazing stories about it. How much of a one-of-a-kind facility it is. For the general public that may just be hearing about it for the first time, what does the St. James provide?
Man, a simple word is a one-stop shop. I mean, it's almost like if I can drive you there right now so you can just see this facility, I would. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, we're blessed and fortunate. Mentioned the two co-founders, Craig Dixon and Kendrick, are the two guys that founded the St. James. And, their idea, their vision was just amazing. I mean, you sit and look at local guys that grew up here, understand the culture, played sports, and they came up with this phenomenal idea to create a sports wellness facility that just that can just provide anything you're looking for. And it's amazing, 450 actually square feet, and it's amazing. Anything you want in there, it's there. So part of the thing I'm excited about the facility is not only for the basketball piece, but I mean, you're talking golf, simulating golf, rugby, volleyball. Even if you never play these sports, you're very intrigued by it. So I think it's obviously the best facility in the country right now.
What can we look forward to from Team Durant moving forward?
Oh, man, a lot of great things. Obviously, this is our year 4 coming for us. Very excited about it. Girls program has grown from 1. They're actually pushing year 3. Mm-hmm. So they've gone from 2 teams, and we have from 4th grade to 17U now. So very excited for that. We're absolutely going to push that. So it's no different from anything we've tackled, especially on the boys' side. So I think it's a push from the girls' side now to get it to the level we want, and obviously to the boys to continue to push. Got a lot of tournaments coming up, obviously keep you guys posted on it. But for us, it's just to create the culture and just being able to serve as many as we can. And that's our goal. And I think as long as we focus on that, we'll continue to be successful.
All right, I know But I'm gonna ask you. I know I called him. I think as soon as I left last year to tell him about it. Obviously, you're a little bit more privy to know what was the plan was going in. Just your thoughts the first time going in there, man.
I didn't think the place exists. I mean, it's unbelievable. You pull up and it's a huge campus.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's big from the outside, but when you go in, it's even bigger. And I think it took us, I'm not going to speak for anybody else, but for myself, it might have taken me like 2 weeks
Right.
to get adjusted and figure out where, what was where. But just the design, the layout, the look of it. And one thing that I'm very impressed about is the level of customer service. And when I say that, as you walk in, you have a concierge desk where team members are greeting you, asking you if you're a member or you're a guest, provide you or point you in the right direction. So that alone, walking into a facility that massive, I mean, it puts you at ease. Man, they're here to help. And then as you continue to walk in, the space, how everything, each square footage of the facility was used accordingly. So it's an amazing facility. I encourage anyone that have not been up there yet or has not been up there to absolutely go up there and visit the complex because it's one of a kind.
What's it been like for the kids in the program?
They're jacked up. You talking basketball, and me and Cardell talked about this earlier, is with basketball, a lot of times it's hard to find facilities, gym to practice. But here you are, you walk in, you got full basketball court. And the great thing about the kids is when they go in, they can practice, but their parents don't have to pick them up right away. They can go do other things. They can rock climb. They can go to the water park, go to Super Awesome Amazing. And then the parents can hang out in the restaurant. So we have a lot of our parents, every time we have practice, they're like, hey, coach, we got practice St. James? All right, cool. So it's not an issue about driving up there. So they love coming up there because it's not about, it's not coming up there, I have to wait, nothing to do. It's so much to do. Even the parents can enjoy themselves with all the things we have going on there.
Cardell.
No, man, you answered it all, man.
I want to thank you so much for coming through, man. We truly appreciate
Sure.
it. We look forward to the event this weekend. Tell everybody where they go online just to get some more information on this weekend's event.
Yeah, you can go on thestjames.com, find all the information about the event this weekend. Definitely want everybody, if you can, make it out there. I mean, obviously it's going to be a great day of 2 days of basketball, but we're excited for all the teams that are coming in, excited for the fans that are going to come in and see. So it's going to be a heck of a weekend, and we're very excited about it.
And I hope you guys definitely enjoyed it. And obviously, not you guys are here, but for the teams coming in, enjoy Sunday and what it stands for. And I hope it has the impact that you guys hope it had when you plan for the kids to go out and see those 3 different places in the DC area. All right, so we're gonna take a quick break, but before doing so, Jamal Hayward, 9450. We can't get through each and any week without that. But this move right here is vital to get any player who's trying to get from point A to point B. He's demoing a breakdown of a hezi. Again, he's breaking down a hezi. Gonna check Jamal Hayward out doing that, 9450 breakdown. And we're taking our second break. We'll be right back on Focus TV.
Today we're going to work on a move that was kind of invented by Steve Smith. Isaiah Thomas was another player that did it a lot. It's a little hezzy. You can use it for a jump shot. A lot of times people use it for layups as well also. A lot of ways to set it up as well also too. I'm going to start from the ring. I'm going to go to the right. So I'm going to sweep low right now. So I'm going to take 1, 2, 3. So what you want to do, turn your head and turn your shoulders. So I'm going to walk through it again. Again. So, change the speeds is involved in this move. Start off fast, slow down for the hezi, then explode out of the hezi for a layup. So, layup. You do it also from the left. Today we're going to work on a move that was kind of invented by Steve Smith. Isaiah Thomas was another player that did it a lot. It's a little hezzy. You can use it for a jump shot. A lot of times people use it for layups as well also. A lot of ways to set it up as well also too. So we're going to start from the ring. I'm going to go to the right. So I'm going to sweep low right now. So I'm going to take 1, 2, 3. So what you want to do, turn your head and turn your shoulders. So I'm going to walk through it again. Again. So, change the speeds is involved in this move. Start off fast, slow down for the hezzy, then explode out of the hezzy for a layup. So, layup. You do it also from the left.
Welcome back to the Focus TV.
Welcome, welcome.
My goodness.
Let us pray, man.
Man, y'all.
Wild night.
He got to be with us through these breaks, man. These last few weeks, I just need to get through the end of this 2019, 2020 NFL season.
I'm just scared if y'all win it all. Because it's going to last all season. I could, like...
But the sad part is, hey, look, the pay's going to come in. I'm not even going to act wild. I've been cool. Her team lost. I ain't say nothing. I've been cool the entire time.
No.
I have. Like, this is all because
She
someone
like
else
the
did
50
something.
Cent of his fans, so
Yes.
she just don't stop. Like,
Yes.
Call it what you want.
I guess that's what
Let's
we're
go
calling it.
Packers.
All right, man. College basketball segment. Cardell, what you got for us? And you over there with GW men's. and women's.
mine's GW. The men's on the men's side, I'm gonna touch on them. They fell to the conference lead in Duquesne, 66-61. Colonial freshman wing, who has emerged as one of the better three-point shooters in the A10. Jameson Battle scored the game out 20 points, 6 of 15 from three, and grabbed 10 rebounds. Fellow freshman guard Jameer Nelson Jr. Once again, that name sounds familiar. That's the son of Jameer Nelson, former St. Joe's star, played with the Magic, Nuggets, NBA vet. He added 14 points, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 2 rebounds for 6 of 14 shooting. Duquesne was led by junior forward Marcus Weathers, who scored a team-high 13 points, 10 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 blocks, while fellow junior center Michael Hughes added 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 blocks. GW went down by as much as 11 in the first half when junior guard Tavian Dunn Martin knocked down a three-pointer to give the Dukes a 28-17 lead. However, GW battled back thanks in large part to some hot shooting from Battle, who hit 3 consecutive three-pointers to close out the first half with the game tied at 32. For most of the second half, it was a back-and-forth affair. However, GW took a 57-56 lead from Jameer Nelson's, three-pointer with 3:50 left in the game. Just when, you thought the GW may be able to pull it out, Duquesne, led by a clutch three-pointer from sophomore point guard Sincere Carey, who's one of the more underrated point guards in the country, not just the A-10, closed the game on a 10-4 run to walk off the court 4-0 in the A-10, 14-2 overall. GW fell to 6-10 on the season and will host 12-4 George Mason tomorrow at 7 p.m. I will have a preview tomorrow for that game. And on the women's side, they dropped their 7th straight, 53-47 at Fordham. Alexandra Mound, graduated to finish with 13 points and 6 rebounds and 6-8 shooting from the field, while sophomore center Kayla Mokwa added 10 points and 4 rebounds off the bench. Fordham guard Kendall Heramias scored a game-high 14 points, added 6 assists and 4 steals, while forward Caitlin Downey added 13 points and 7 rebounds. Fordham led from start to finish with 3-point shooting pretty much being the difference in the game. Fordham shot 8 for 26 from deep, while GW shot 3 of 13 from deep. The 7-9 Colonials will look to right the ship on the road at Davidson Saturday at 1 p.m.
All right, University of Maryland women. Last time we spoke, they had won at home against, I want to say it was Iowa State. And then, they had 2 road games. They went to Iowa and they fell 66-61. Iowa got off to a blistering hot start. They started the game shooting north of 70%. And when a team gets that hot, it's hard to slow them down. And as we've discussed in the past with, so far this season with Maryland, their offense has yet to catch up to their defense. This is one of those games where they couldn't really get it going offensively. So, they did fall. But they rebounded with an effort against Michigan. That defense was back up to full tilt, causing the type of disruption it typically has caused at times this year. Forced 22 turnovers in a 77-49 win in Ann Arbor. Blair Watson led the way with 20 points. Ashley Owusu and Diamond Miller, the freshman duo, combined to score 33 points. The Terps are back home this week, and they're going to host Nebraska on Thursday night at 8 p.m. All right, Octavia, as we go ahead and get into the NFL, I was showing you my computer because
something crazy just happened.
Like literally
breaking news.
The last 10-15 minutes.
Luke Kuechly has retired at the age of 28.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
Didn't
see that coming.
And I guess the biggest thing that jumps out for me is I know they just went through the folks that made the Hall of Fame. It's interesting to me to see how they're gonna treat these guys that retired early.
Yeah.
So right now we have Patrick Willis, Calvin Johnson, Luke Kuechly. I know
Andrew
other
Luck.
folks. Yeah, Andrew Luck. I know Chris Borland retired. No respect to Chris Borland. Talk about some of the really, really special players. How are we going to talk about this?
I don't know. I mean, he put out a 3.5 minute video that's on the Carolina Panthers Twitter page, and of course Shefty was the first to go ahead and let everybody know. I'm gonna have to watch it later, but the headline just says, "In my heart, I know it's the right thing to do." So, I mean, has he had like really bad injuries or anything? I feel like he's had injuries, but I don't know if it's been like Andrew Luck. I could understand, like you just could not get right, your body couldn't take it, and I can understand that. But I don't feel like he's had that many bad injuries.
I mean,
so that's why I'm interested to see the story in the back.
Something where it's how many injuries he played through, just because sometimes
that's true.
they're on the field, we don't know exactly what they had to overcome to get on the field. So I mean,
that's definitely true.
To find out a little bit more, but for Carolina, that's
lost a coach, lost a Kuechly.
Oh no, I ain't losing.
Well, yeah, You know what I meant.
You gave away a coach.
Yeah,
There you go. You gave away a coach.
You gave away a coach. You lost to Kuechly.
You about to take over a certain division.
Jesus. What happened?
Nothing. Go ahead, Wilson.
What's about to take
No,
over?
hold on. We're not going
We're not gonna gloss over this.
No, we're not glossing over this. Because had I been the one to say that,
Who's about to take over what division?
There's been so much venom coming my way, but it's fine.
Oh, okay. I believe it when I see it.
Hey, look.
But anyways,
It's so good.
just to
Raymond, you don't even know.
just to get through the
Who played this weekend?
divisional round of games this past weekend. Go ahead and start with the first game of the weekend.
We gotta drop our whole energy.
Yes,
and voice
we
for
do.
this?
We do. The
You don't like that?
The Vikings played. He don't like it, I'm sure. The Vikings played the 49ers, and the 49ers were victorious 27-10. Kirk Cousins 21-29, 172 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Cook had 9 carries, 18 yards. Diggs 2 receptions, 57 yards, 1 touchdown. Other side, Garoppolo 11-19, 131 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Coleman had 22 carries, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Deebo Samuels 3 receptions, 34 yards. It was a massacre. Besides the one play, I mean, I feel like even with the play that the first touchdown for the only touchdown for the Vikings with Stephon Diggs, like he kind of got a little lucky. I mean, he kind of tripped over his own feet. But he was getting burnt all game, and he had to get subbed out.
Kello been going through some things.
Yeah, he was going through a little something.
I heard when you play corner, you get paid when you can find the ball.
So he not gonna get paid.
Kello's had an issue where
Does he start next week?
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's why he got pulled right after that play.
More so, are you happy that he's not starting next week?
Yeah,
No, he needs to start. I'm gonna start a petition. Write a letter.
So you want my man to go out there and get cooked?
Yes. Put him on Devontae.
But you know what the sad part is? The last time they played, he was on Devontae.
Well, he need to play on him again.
But you know what Devontae did the
That's
last
okay.
time? Nothing.
I want to see it this time.
You're probably not going to get opportunities.
Dang it. I'm going to write a letter, I swear.
They've been switching out all season.
Well, they need to switch him back on. I want to see it happen. That would be amazing. Just what I need. Yeah, so they're going to go to the NFC Championship next week, and they will be facing the Packers. The Packers beat the Seahawks 28-23. Russell Wilson was 21 of 31, 277 yards, 1 touchdown, 7 carries for 64 yards. Tyler Lockett was 9 receptions, 136 yards, 1 touchdown. On the other side, Rodgers was 16 of 23, 243 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jones, 21 carries, 62 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Devontae Adams, 8 receptions, 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. He did whatever he wanted to do. It looks like that the Packers were able to figure out something that my team could not figure out the week before, how to stop DK Metcalf, because they kind of did, and it was kind of like, wow. But like I said, when we talked about this game last week, like I can never count Rodgers out. I felt like Russell tried to do everything that he could do. He basically took the whole team and put them on his back and was trying, but you know, it just didn't happen for them that game. It's just, I feel like even with Rodgers, like I said, because I feel like Devontae Adams, he has to play great in order for them to win. I feel like. But their second wide receiver, Lazard, he played well. He was blocking. I know he had a couple of penalties that I'm sure he would want back. But Jones as well, like, he's running. And they're not able to, 2 touchdowns. He's doing everything he needs to do as well. It was, to me, the score was 28-23, but it wasn't that close, in my opinion. But the Seahawks are gone. I wish they would have. I don't know, because I like when they play you guys, but.
Nah, look, you see how petty that is? She wanted the Seahawks to win so they can put my team out.
I did. But now it's going to be up to the Packers. So now the Packers and the 49ers will play in the NFC Championship next week to see who goes to Super Bowl on February 2nd. On the other side, for the AFC, let's go ahead and talk about this crazy upset. My man, Lamar. So the Ravens fell to the Titans 28-12. Lamar Jackson was 31 of 59, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 20 carries for 143 yards. Marquise Brown, 7 receptions, 126 yards. On the other side, Tannehill has 7 receptions for 7 of 14, 88 yards, 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry, 30 carries, 195 yards. And K. Raymond had 1 reception for 45 yards and 1 touchdown. I didn't see it coming. I just didn't see it coming. But I felt like we talked about last week, the only way is if Derrick Henry was able to play the same way he played the week before, and man, did he. I'm kind of at a loss for words. I definitely did not see this coming, especially with the Ravens coming out. Saying that their focal point is to stop Derrick Henry. That's what they were supposed to do, and they didn't get it done. As much as I'm sure all national media wants to blame this whole loss on Lamar, just because it's a story, it's not all on him, guys. Because he played a good game. 20 carries, 143 yards as a quarterback. Come on, man.
Only thing that messed him up was the turnovers. Let's stop that.
Yeah.
And they trying to say Tannehill outplayed him with 88 yards.
Nah, right.
Man, let's keep it 100. Everybody got a plan till they get punched in the mouth. They saw that big boy up close, and he was running fast. My man stiffed arm Earl Thomas and made him just turn around and look the other way. Oh man, and he was the main one talking about the Patriots didn't tackle him. So yeah,
you didn't either, bruh.
And here's why I was saying during the season, pump the brakes on saying this defense was the 2000 Ravens on the same level. Because if it was, he wouldn't have did that, and this would have been a beatdown. And look, man, Henry a big boy. I'm just gonna kill it. 6'3", 250. He a big boy, but y'all get paid to tackle, man. Like, do some gang tackle that dudes. It was like it's like I used this in high school. We had a conversation. It was like, could all the dudes in school beat up Bruce Lee? My thing was like, who's gonna take who's gonna step to him first? Who's gonna rush him first? And everybody was kind of quiet. Like, exactly. Somebody had to rush this dude first and take the L, though. Somebody had to take the L. Like, go for the legs or something. They didn't want no. It was just arm tackles. He just get out my way. Like, oh man.
But you know what? You're right. Like, that's one of the type of dudes where someone has to die so someone else can make the play.
Yeah.
Like, that's the plan of attack.
And preferably it should have been a veteran who opened his mouth and pissed them off and gave him bulletin board material. Shout out to Walt Webb. He said this after the game when I went down there covered. He said, we do not get an enemy bulletin board material because you don't know how you gonna amp up. And they ain't just amp him up. Their offensive line was destroying their defensive line. They were non-existent. Come on, man. Like, Tannehill ain't do nothing, but he ain't feel pressure.
He ain't have to.
That's my point.
He ain't have to do nothing. His 88 yards suffice because Derrick Henry carried for 30 times, 195 yards, and nobody could stop him. Why would you throw the ball?
And why would you piss him off? He rushed for over 1,500 during the season. He was first in the NFL.
He was the rushing champ, so I don't know why you would throw Saul at the Juggernaut again. Leave that man.
That's a great name.
Because
that's how he runs. If you're an X-Men fan, that's exactly how he runs. Upright, you like.
People find cartoons, movies, superheroes.
He runs just like that.
Superheroes don't lunge at him first either. But no, seriously, I got a name that I want to discuss because I feel like we're doing this thing where the media likes to give people credit when things are going well, and then when stuff goes bad, people just let these people ride off into the sunset. So Greg Roman, here we are once again.
Hey,
my
you.
dear friend. Greg.
Hey, guy.
Because you did this back in 2012. Only difference was the quarterback you did that to then knew you were what you were, and he just left. He didn't sit in the pocket. He was like, deuces, I'm going to get at you. Lamar sat in the pocket. He ain't know no better. He's young. He trusts you. He don't know you're you yet. Now he knows. Greg Roman is one of the quickest dudes to ever hit the panic button anytime stuff doesn't go well. Greg Roman, again, this is another dude where the offense, when it's working, it's fun and we give him credit and it's great. One of the things that the difference between a good play caller and a great play caller is knowing what you do is your adjustments and also knowing who you are. The Titans came out and let's say the Ravens made it hard for them to run. Do you think he was going to get 5 less carries? No. It just meant we're going to either block better or try other running plays. It doesn't mean we're going to be like, hey, Tannehill, 30 dropbacks. No, no one does that. I know you don't want to hear this. Going to the San Francisco-Minnesota game. Jimmy throws an interception. People are like, oh, that proves he's bad. No. A winning coach, look, Kyle Shanahan hit you clock. It was like Madden. There's no point with your defense playing the way it is to throw the ball. Why risk anything? It has no indictment on your quarterback or anything. If people want to make it into something, it's not. If your defense is giving up 2.7 yards a play, what you putting the ball in the air for? Last time I checked, when you run the ball, the clock goes tick, 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 tick. Right?
Controlling the pace of the game.
Yep.
It goes to get the game over with. That got nothing to do with your quarterback, man. Y'all get over this stuff. It's about winning. The Titans. Lamar Jackson is dangerous. The boy accounted for 500 yards of offense, but you know what they did? They made sure nobody else did anything.
Yep.
And you know who helped nobody else do anything? 70 dropbacks.
Yeah.
70 dropbacks. You took a power running team. This is what you built, an offense that everybody sat here, gave you credit for. Got folks up here mentioning your name as a future head coach prospect. It's a joke. Please stop. It's hilarious because that's not a good head coach. That's not a good leader of men. This is not what you do. And he's done this before. Shout out to DMPs in 2012 in the Super Bowl. The defense coordinator of the Tennessee Ravens right now, the Tennessee Titans right now, was the Ravens defense coordinator. Remember how hard it was for San Francisco to move the ball in the first half of that game?
Mm-hmm.
You take Cap away, I bet you this Niners don't come back in that game. At all. I'm not going to say or give Roman credit. Because Roman and Harbaugh are the same people at the end of the game. Remember when they were moving the ball, driving the ball down the field? Then they call timeout for no reason. And Niners on a 5. And you go from about to run the ball to throw. That's what those two knuckleheads did. This is what they did right here. They took a power running team and didn't run.
Yeah, because Ingram was non-existent.
Yeah.
They made him non-existent. That's just overthinking it. And like you said, in the playoffs, win a game. Because at the end of the day, we remember the 2000 Ravens. Yeah, they had a great defense. We remember they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We don't remember they had one of the most trash offenses you ever seen. I mean, Shannon Sharp kept it real. Ray Lewis was like, hey. I mean, Shannon was like, what y'all need? For us to do, he's like, we just need 7 points. Shannon like, oh, I can do that. I mean, I'll get you that. Like, we good. And that's what they literally did. It was Jamal Lewis running for 2,000 yards, and Trent Dilfer just don't throw the ball.
Just don't mess up.
Don't throw interceptions. And then the Raiders like, we got that. They even score points sometimes. They like, we got this, dog.
What did Tennessee just do?
Same
That boy
thing.
he had 70-something yards. 30 and 40 of them came on one deep shot. Arthur Smith, and I'm going to give him credit, because y'all out here getting so excited about all these wild spread offenses.
He outplayed Lamar Jackson, Tannehill. I'm like,
nah, you know what he
boy.
had? He had a smarter offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
He had someone who had the juggernaut and was like, so, you hungry, big fella?
Yeah.
Just going out there.
Oh, my goodness.
And what people don't understand in football, it's similar in basketball and boxing. If you keep going to the body, let's say they got great defense, you keep going to the body, it's going to wear you down. That's what a running game does. It wears the defense down. They tired. They tackling this big monster. It's like, oh, and you push against the offensive line. They wear down and fatigue. They going to break.
It's just that simple. Y'all have turned something so complex. Like, so simple to something so crazy.
One more thing. It's wild how all the teams that advance are playing like an old school style of football, and it's not
Strong
this innovative
defense and running
stuff.
the ball.
It's old school style we grew up watching that won a lot of Super Bowls,
So-
but now this all that innovative passing stuff is just...
Tennessee ran the ball 30-some times. The Niners ran that thing 47 times.
Packers ran the ball with multiple running backs
Yep.
and that.
It's almost like physicality, the stuff that, quote unquote, boring old school football. That stuff still has meaning. It usually matters. It plays a role in this time of year. And then you got your exceptions sometimes, what we saw with the
Chiefs,
the
goddamn.
51-7 run out here. I tell you, what did you think about that though?
About what? I'm sorry.
Your man Mahomes going 51-7
Mahomes.
after going.
I'm saying though, like, I was just like, wait, what is happening? Because I'm be honest, I was half asleep watching the game at first, and then I turned on and I'm like, dang, the Titans is winning 20 points.
And I knew it
What
wasn't
is
over.
happening? And then I blinked
I was
real
laughing
quick.
at
I was like, when I woke back up, I was like, what is
I was
happening? So I mean, go ahead and get to it. Texans lost to the Chiefs 51-31. Deshaun Watson, 31-52, 388 yards, 2 touchdowns. Carlos Hyde, 13 carries, 44 yards. Hopkins, 9 receptions, 18 yards. Mahomes, 23-35, 321 yards, 5 touchdowns, 4 in 1 quarter. 7 carries, 53 yards for him. And Travis Kelce, 10 receptions, 134 yards, and 3 of those touchdowns. It was like, I always, like I said last week too, I love Andy Reid's mind. Like, I just love how he can just adjust so well. Because I feel like that's all it was. It was like, oh, okay, you guys are doing this. Cool. That's cool. We're going to do this now. Fix that. That's over. And it was just like, as they talked about it throughout the entire game, like, the Chiefs just have, like, the most explosive offense. Like, I know everybody talks about the Ravens and everything that they've had as well, but I feel like most of theirs come straight from Lamar. And I feel like with the Chiefs, they're able to spread it around. They have so many dynamic offensive players that if Mahomes is off, which is very, very rare, if ever, you got Kelsey. If you got Kelsey, you got... And I mean, and a lot of the stuff that happened, too, in the beginning of the game was mental errors on the Chiefs' part. You know, block punt, you muff the kickoff. Those things put them in, like, the red zone right there. It took them 2 seconds to score. So you take away those instances, this could have been a way different game.
Look, man, I said it last week. I was like, Deshaun going to play the best game of his life. Way better than what he did in Alabama. Because being in the division, I know they're like the Warriors with KD. Like, how many times you saw the Warriors with KD, they'd be down like 20, 25, 30 at the half. You be like, man, they tripping. And in that third quarter run, you go get a sandwich, come back about 5 minutes left in the third, and they up 15. You be like, what the hell?
Yep.
And they did it consistently and stuff like that. You see the other team looking like, yo, what the? And they just blitz them. That's how they are, man. That's how the Chiefs are, man. And I done seen it happen to my team too many times. People on Twitter going like, I thought my home. I'm like, man, the game ain't over. Just relax. And they literally blitzed them. They with 6 straight touchdowns from the 9:55 mark in the second quarter to the 4:39 mark in the third quarter. It's gonna be teams. It's teams that have advanced that haven't even scored 6 touchdowns period in the playoffs.
Yes.
And he did it in less than like a quarter and a half.
It was like less than 10 minutes. It was ridiculous. And I kind of want to ask, like, so Terrell Suggs, what team you want to be on now? Where you want to be? You want to go back to Baltimore? No? You want to stay where you at? No? Just wondering.
I was just glad I was with Cardell. I wasn't understand why everybody was overreacting to all this stuff.
That's Twitter for you.
We sat, like, if you watch the Texans all year, I think somebody said something during the broadcast, like, that was the second or third time that team hit 30 on the year.
Yeah, they
don't score that much. Talking about Greg Roman, gonna bring up Bill O'Brien. I'm about sick of these
I can't believe it.
Geniuses with uber talented quarterbacks at the helm that don't know what to do with them. The quarterbacks bailed them out of so many horrible play calls.
That is definitely Deshaun Watson. He's done that all year.
Sit there and give said coach credit when this dude is just bailing them out of horrible play call after horrible play call after horrible play call. Someone gifted you a 24-0 lead, right? You're playing the Chiefs. You knew you were going to have to keep scoring. You ran out of plays, dog. Your offense legit doesn't work. Except if that dude goes create something. That's sad. And the thing that killed me was anytime you went to Will Fuller, you had success, but y'all didn't keep going to Will Fuller. like that's what I couldn't comprehend it because you were struggling to stop the trio of super fast people the Chiefs have. You had one. They struggled to deal with the one you had, yet you didn't keep dialing up play for him, and that's why I'm over, like, this coaching thing bothers me so much more. And I love you brought up Andy Reid. And some of his other coaches that's been under Andy Reid, they got credit for things. And can we please start mentioning Eric Bieniemy's name when we talk about the Chiefs and the offenses, the things that happened? He was holding the sheet. He was making play calls as well. Y'all have to stop picking and choosing what happens. Doug Peterson was there, and we never sat here while Doug Peterson was there with Andy Reid going, Doug Peterson's not doing his job. We said,
shout out Doug Peterson.
You know what I'm saying? But we gave Doug his job, right? And that's part of Andy's coaching tree. Cool. There was what was the other guy? Who's the other?
LaFleur?
LaFleur's out of Andy Reid?
I think so.
Okay, so maybe LaFleur. I don't know, but Andy Reid got a decent tree, right? But we've given credit to each one of those guys, but we're going out our way to ignore the enemy. This happened. He's part of this staff. How do y'all keep ignoring this? We literally watched someone whose offense died this weekend in front of everyone get promoted. They got a whole head coach job after that. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. And I guess that's what's bothering me the most out this weekend is they keep telling us all these guys are these brilliant savants.
I think you meant Nagy, my bad.
There you go, Nagy. And I just don't get it. Like it what else do they have to do? Like, I'm sorry.
Who was they, though?
I'm just talking about the media and the talking heads in the circle.
People like
them. And I get
It ain't us saying it. We ain't
No,
saying it. We like, you trash, dog.
No, I got you, but that's what I'm saying is like, why does anybody just like look at stuff for face value, right? Like look at it for what it is. Like, what did any of these dudes do? Where we just saw, not the Knox Stenaski, who's with the Cleveland, with the Browns now. Like, it is what it is. That's who they chose. Whatever they chose, they chose. But to sit here and be like, we just watch an offense die. Like, average 2 yards in a playoff game in front of everybody.
They're part of that good old boy network. That network's strong, boy.
McDermott.
Battle Test has been around forever, baby. You part of that network. You good.
I mean, just I was looking it up to see some of like his tree. You got Rivera, Peterson, Harbaugh, McDermott, Nagy, Bowles, and Shermer. The left two.
That's a pretty good treat.
Yeah, man.
Like I said, y'all just keep ignoring
this
the enemy.
is an
So
old
it's
article.
getting on my nerves a little bit. But I know going into this week, like Octavia said, we got 49ers Packers, we got Chiefs Titans. Should be fun to see the style differences.
Copac go.
With Green Bay 49ers, you know, the first time, I guess the biggest thing to see if Green Bay matches the physicality. You know,
Sure.
I don't expect the outcome to be the same, but at the same time, they got a D4 thing to deal with. That's a different defense when he's on the field. And I'm anxious to see how they combat that. And on the other side, Mahomes and then the juggernaut. Whose defense is like, the thing with the juggernaut is on the way to stopping him, time comes off the clock.
Yeah.
The other part is, the other dude don't need but like 7 seconds.
Yeah. Tyreek Hill go deep.
Man, me, Cole Hardman, meet, we're done here.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. But before we get out of here, shout out to the WNBA. We've been keeping you guys updated about the CBA. It got extended like several times, their talks. Today, it's, you know, they've come to an agreement. Gonna share some points of it because a lot of stuff's been going out today. And, you know, just we do our best here to try to get, you know, cut through some misinformation. Annual base pay for league's highest paid players. It's jumping from $117,500 to $215,000. But the caveat with this is, with other benefits, cash compensation, other things going on, players can earn, this is the top tier players, they can earn, after that base pay, again, the base pay is $215,000, they can earn up to $500,000, which gives, that's a big come up from what it used to be. The CBA agreement is for 8 years, like the last one was, with a mutual opt-out provision after 6, just like the last one. The 2020 salary cap is going to be $1.3 million. That's going up from $996,000 in 2019. Players who complete their contracts and have 5 or more years of service can become unrestricted free agents unless they are tagged as a core player. The core player in the WNBA is akin to the franchise player in the NFL. But what they're going to do is, I think they're going to try to waive the core out little by little over the time of the CBA. The number of times a player can be tagged as core goes from 4 to 3 beginning this season, and then drops to 2 beginning with the 2022 season. So eventually they're going to get to like where the NBA free-for-all is with folks moving, but they want to take their time to get there and kind of still do it their league's way. The other thing, the players will receive full salary while on maternity leave, an annual child care stipend of $5,000, and a guarantee of 2-bedroom apartments for players with children. Another thing with the traveling, for All-Star games, they get to play. They get to travel first class for All-Star games, and then with on the road, players they don't have to share rooms anymore, which is the thing. If you didn't know they were doing it yet, this is what these women have been dealing with for a while. The other thing, I know some people, because this is what we're doing this time. Every time somebody makes a little bit of progress, people also hate every bit of part of this. So, for you people, I would just simply like to say it's several steps in the right direction. The league has to continue to grow. And as we've always said here, we urge the NBA to continue to do its part and do a little bit more. You have more than enough money, and then we're not even going to get to, because of the things that have happened on your side and the work you get to grow the game and the TV money and all this other stuff. There's a lot of people in your league where pay has been inflated for quite a while, so you should be able to take that.
He's being nice. Some of y'all trash dudes don't deserve the bread y'all need, man. Don't make me get the calls, man. Look, man.
All right.
It's some bad basketball. Look at it. Oh.
So what we're saying is you should be able to skim some of that money off the top, get it to the WNBA where it needs to be. But want to thank you guys for tuning in. As always, get over to finestbag.com, mymodelsports.com, and we'll see you guys next week.